tons of high quality traffic and as much of it as you desire. Plus, I'm going to show you how to get that traffic without creating ads, or without you having to create ads, or even learning how to get that traffic yourself, okay? It is an exciting new strategy that I'm going to be sharing with you, so stay tuned. Step number 2 is get buyer leads into your mini group. So I'm going to show you how to fill your group with only the most valuable prospects in your niche who are going to be ready, willing, and able to buy your book, buy your product, buy your service, or buy your solution. Step number 3, we're going to make people excited. I'm going to show you one of the greatest superpowers in all of marketing, and it's how to generate massive excitement in the hearts and minds of your prospects, again, for your book, your product, your service, or your solution. Step number 4 is going to be creating massive desire, okay? You'll discover the simple steps to take to drive a mini group of buyer prospects wild with desire to buy your book, okay? Step number 5 is going to be triggering a buying frenzy. I'm going to show you how to get your members to abandon all resistance to ordering your book so that they buy your book, product, service, or solution with reckless abandon, okay? So let's discuss each of these 5 steps in more detail. Step number 1 is get hot traffic from Facebook. So I specialize in Facebook traffic because Facebook gives me the most profitable leads for mini groups. Now, for this business model, I have found that short text ads work better than long text ads. They also work better than video ads, which is great because I personally don't enjoy being on camera. Now, most of my ads are less than 70 words, which means that they're really tiny, simple, and fast to create. Now, you do not need to have any copywriting skills to create these kind of ads. In fact, I'll show you where to get high converting Facebook ads created for you in minutes for free that will fill your mini group with members. So that's right. You do not need to create a single ad yourself. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you how you can get ads created for free that will absolutely fill your mini group with hot buyer prospects. In fact, step number 2 is get buyer leads into your mini group. So I once started a regular Facebook group to sell a book called Speed Keto. The group was called Daily Keto Meals. I grew it to over 200,000 members, and at the height of its success, it made just shy of $300,000 in a single year. Now, compare that to a mini group I did with 1,100 people in it. It generated over $500,000 in 12 days. This means that I made more in 12 days from a mini group than I made in 12 months with a regular Facebook group. And in actual fact, I made more in 12 days with a mini group than most authors and professional internet marketers make in a year. Why is that? A huge reason is because of the mini group system I'm teaching you here today. But another huge reason why is because the 1,100 people that I put into the mini group were buyer leads. They were buyer prospects. Whereas the 200,000 people I put into Daily Keto Meals were not buyer leads. So it took a lot more selling over a much longer time and a much lower profit margin to make money with those guys. Well, guess what? In every niche, okay, there are buyer leads and non-buyer leads. People who buy and people who will never buy. Now, here's a fact. Non-buyers outnumber buyers 10 to 1, meaning there are 10 times more non-buyers in every niche than buyers. Now, if you fill your mini group with non-buyers, you're going to waste your time, your money, and you will fail. But holy smoke, guys, if you fill your mini group with buyer leads, then you can make a lot of money, and you can make that money very, very quickly. Check out what my client, Ruan Rudy, had to say about her very first mini group. Ruan followed my system for success and targeted only buyers. And here is what happened, Ruan.
Hi, my name's Ruan Rudy, and my fiance is an international business turnaround expert. So for years now, we've been wanting to transition his business online, and we looked into different programs and different methods to follow, but a lot of them were just overly complicated. This year, though, things changed for us. It really became a priority for him to be home more, And so I became a client of Caleb's and learned his Facebook group sales campaign. We both learned this strategy. We implemented it by filling a group with 484 people. And over 12 days, we generated over $170,000. Now, this was our first online launch, so we were thrilled with the results. It really proved the model for us like we were hoping to. And Caleb's help and support throughout that process was just awesome. So now here we are. We just finished our first launch. We're getting ready to relaunch. We have a clear path to taking this business to at least 7 figures in the near future, and we have a clear vision in how we're going to take this to upwards of 8 figures. So all I can say is if you haven't met Caleb before or you're thinking about working with him, he is absolutely the real deal. I've invested in a lot of programs over the years, and hands down, this program is the best one ever that I have ever invested in because it's so clear-cut. It's a clear path to online success. It's exactly what we were looking for. And if you have a proven product or proven service already, I cannot recommend this program enough. I highly, highly recommend it because Caleb has the level of expertise, knowledge, and genuine support that can just help explode your business like it did for us. So Caleb, thank you so much. We cannot wait to implement everything we've learned from you and to continue to learn from you and collaborate for years to come. So thanks, and bye for now.
Guys, I'm going to show you my strategy for targeting buyer leads in a little bit. Plus, I'll show you where to go to get a professional Facebook traffic expert to do all of this work for you so you don't have to do it yourself, okay? This is actually a free service that you can now avail of that makes selling your book, product, service, or solution by the truckload with a mini group an absolute snap for you, okay? More specifically, the first Facebook mini group you do, I'm going to show you a service where you can get it all done for free, okay? Step number 2, guys, make people excited, okay? So one of the most powerful skills that you can learn as a book author or as an internet marketer is how to make people excited about your book, product, or service. It's a skill that can absolutely and undoubtedly make you rich. It is known only to the masters of marketing. It's never taught publicly. Yet it is one of the big reasons why tiny mini groups can now earn more money in 12 days than 90% of authors and internet marketers earn in 12 months. So here is the scoop. I take the first 3 days of this 12-day mini group to build up excitement levels to a perfect crescendo in the hearts and minds of my group members. This excitement phase marks the beginning of the 12-day mini group funnel. The goal of this phase is to get people excited about the training that's coming. Why? Because the more excited people are, the more they'll pay attention to the training. The more they pay attention to the training, the more they will desire your book, your product, or your service, okay? And the more they desire your book, product, or service, the more money you will make. So excitement equals money. The more excited your members are, the more money your mini group will earn. Now, I developed a 5-step method that drives mini group members wild with excitement, okay? The strategy is very powerful. It's remarkably simple. It's a lot of fun, too. It's been used with amazing success by both beginners and expert authors and marketers alike. For example, top book authors and internet marketers like John Benson have used it. If you don't know John has written a bunch of best-selling books that have made millions of dollars, okay? He's also the guy, as I mentioned earlier, who invented the video sales letter. So John knows a thing or two about selling books and making millions online, to say the least. So here is what John Benson had to say about mini groups.
Hey, it's John Benson, CEO of CopyPro.ai and now VSL. And wanted to give a shout out to my buddy Caleb O'Dowd, who has basically opened the world to me on what's possible with Facebook groups. I had no idea that I could make 12 to 14 9x on my ad spends on Facebook. And I hate to say this, this is going to make me look like a rank amateur. Most people know me as one of the top copywriters in the world and a pretty decent marketer, but I've never been able to make Facebook work on any of my offers. And my offers have great copy on them, just have never been able to pull it off. I've gotten close before, and we ran this, and we ran a legit, after all expenses paid, everything out the door, we got a 9x on our ad spend profit. And that was not on day 30, that's on day 1. So I was just absolutely thrilled with the process. I actually love the process because I really loved connecting with people. It's the first time I've ever seen so much interaction, so much feedback. So it really juices you up to Caleb's strategies are just the best. And without his help, there's no way I could have done it. So I really owe him a big one. And if you're thinking about checking out his course, by all means, get it. It is the best course I've ever seen for converting Facebook traffic into paid buyers and building some raving fans. So thanks a lot, Caleb. Appreciate it, man.
Guys, John followed my mini group strategy to a T. He also used my 5-step method for making people crazy with excitement. The result is that John generated a bona fide breakthrough in sales and profits with his very, very first mini group, even though every other time he tried to make money with Facebook, he failed. Guys, I'm going to give you the same 5-step method that I gave John Benson for making people crazy with excitement in a mini group. This strategy is a superpower skill for life. Knowing how to make people excited about your book, product, or service can undoubtedly make you rich online. And it's one of the biggest reasons why mini groups are now generating breakthrough sales and profits for my clients and I. Okay, moving on. Step number 4, create massive desire. Okay, so speaking of advertising superpowers, few can make you more money faster than the ability to drive your prospects wild with desire to buy your book, your product, or your service. So here's the scoop. I take the next 5 days of the 12-day mini group to build up massive desire. This desire phase is critical to the success of your mini group. The goal is to drive your group members wild with desire to buy your book. Why? Because the more people desire to buy, the more they will buy when given the chance. And the more they buy, the more money you will make. So just like excitement, desire equals money. The more your prospects desire to buy, the more money your mini group will make. So how do we create a white-hot, smoldering desire to buy in the hearts and minds of our prospects? We do it by sharing a valuable training for free, a very strategic training that consists of 5 short videos that generate trust and trigger huge desire to buy. Now, please understand, when people hear that they have to create a free training, they get all the wrong ideas. They think they need to create some kind of Hollywood production. They think they have to be live on camera. They think it's a lot of hard work. None of these things are true, not with a mini group. It's not a lot of hard work. You do not need to create Hollywood quality videos, and you do not need to show your face on camera. I'm going to give you the exact fill-in-the-blank scripts that I and my clients use, and exactly the slide deck templates I use for the videos, so you don't have to show your face on camera. Plus, to put this free mini group training together is surprisingly simple. It takes just a few hours start to finish. Now, the same training, scripts, and templates that I will give you to fast track your success is what I gave to my client, Patty Dominguez. So here's what Patty had to say about her first mini group. She said, Caleb, I recently used your mini group for the very first time. I spent $1,100 on ads, and I generated $37,981 in 12 days. But that's not all. I earned an additional $15,000 immediately after the group ended from the leads I generated via email. So in total, I spent $1,100 and I made $52,981. That's a 48x return on my ad spend. Insane. I'm thrilled beyond belief. I left my corporate job in 2013. Since then, I've invested in and learned from a lot of gurus, Frank Kern, Russell Brunson, Ryan Levesque, to name a few. But I just love this mini group funnel and your coaching style. Thank you for making me a better marketer. I'm very grateful for your mentorship. Patty Dominguez, her website is pattydominguez.com. Everybody here, guys, these are all real people. Rob Cosberg, as you know, is a real person. John Benson is a real person. Patty Dominguez, everyone I'm sharing here, these are all real people getting real results, okay? What's cool about Patty is that she now runs just one mini group per month and generates north of $50,000 in profit each time. Patty is among dozens of authors and marketers who are now thrilled with this new mini group lifestyle business model and just how much money it makes you without any of the usual hassles and stress and overwhelm that come with traditional publishing or internet marketing business models. And the method that I use to drive people in a mini group wild with desire to buy your book, buy your product, or buy your service is at the core of why mini groups are now earning many times more profit than selling your book, product, or service via Amazon or traditional publishing methods like interviews, podcasts, TV appearances, or selling your products and services via webinars, video sales letters, product launches, and traditional sales funnels. As I said earlier, this mini group business model, I have no way of proving it, but it may be the most profitable sales generation strategy on the internet right now. I'm a professional marketer. Many of my clients are professional marketers, authors, and experts. None of us have ever come across something that is generating this much profit, before. No other model that we have ever seen is generating this much profit. So moving on now to the fifth and final step, which is trigger a buying frenzy. So what you're about to discover now is money-making wizardry made simple. Okay, it's my three-step method for unleashing what I call an all-out buying frenzy among the members of your mini group. Because when you get this stuff right, guys, you will be shocked at how much money mini groups can earn you. And then you will be as convinced as I am and as convinced as my clients are that what I have here is the hottest new way for authors to sell books online, the hottest new way for internet marketers to sell their products and services online in 2021. So here is what you need to know. By the time people in your mini group enter the final 4-day buying frenzy phase, their excitement levels are absolutely sky high. Their desire for your book, your product, or your service is sky high. And they have decided that if the deal is right, they're going to buy. However, what you want to do right now at this time is trigger what I like to call panic scarcity. Okay? So here's what I mean. Step number 1, create excess demand. So to set the stage to sell your book, by the truckload, we must first create excess demand. So I do this by asking people in the group, hey, if you're interested in this book, type the word interested in the comments section below this post. Now, you'll usually get 50% to 70% of people in the group typing interested below your post. And depending on the size of your mini group, that could be thousands of people saying, yes, I'm interested in buying your book. This is huge because now it is inarguable. Now there's huge demand in your group for your book, and all your members see it, okay? Step number 2, we limit the supply. So, how do we limit the supply? By announcing that there's only X number of copies available if I'm selling a book or a product. So, let's say that there's, 1,000 people that say, hey, I want the book. I would say, well, guys, there's only 500 copies available at this time. Or, if I'm looking to, sell a product or a service, I would just say, hey, I'm only accepting X quantity of new clients at this time. Now, when you limit the supply like this, you send panic through the ranks. That's a good thing, because when people understand that there's a chance that they may not be able to get the book that they now strongly desire, guess what happens? They desire that book with even more intensity. And that's what we're doing here. We're ratcheting up the intensity of their desire to buy your book or your product or your service. The goal is to make your prospects' desire to buy your book so intense that when you finally give them the order link, they buy with reckless abandon, okay? And the third step is you shut the group down. So I let everybody know the group is closing down and the opportunity to get the book is ending. And everybody will therefore be removed from the group. Why? Because when people know the deadline is final, then the offer and the opportunity becomes true, it becomes believable, and it becomes a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Now, when you create excess demand and you limit the supply and you create a true once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get your book, and then you announce that the group will be shut down and all members will be removed, this creates panic scarcity. It unleashes an all-out buying frenzy among your mini group members, the likes of which you have never seen before in your life. This is what causes such massive high profits with mini groups. Now, I achieve all of this using several simple scripts, emails, and group posts, all of which I'm going to give you access to shortly. But this exact strategy is what my client Cindy Mulchaney used in her mini group. Check out what Cindy has to say.
Aloha, Cindy here, and I just wanted to share my experience so far with mini groups and with Caleb's training. I have been an online service provider for years, and for an embarrassingly long period of time, I've wanted to switch gears and leverage my expertise into teaching. But I am in a really competitive niche with a lot of big-time players who have a lot of influence, and I have no list and no real influence to speak of. So the thought of starting at zero and doing all the normal things like growing an email list, building funnels, and posting like crazy on social media to promote and sell my own products not only seemed way too daunting and complicated, but because my niche is so competitive, I wasn't sure that doing all those things would even be a sure bet. So essentially, I had no confidence to pull the trigger and launch my own program. And then I heard Caleb talking about mini groups recently, and the second I heard him describe the process, I knew that this was the way for me. So I jumped right in. I set a launch date a couple weeks ahead, and I just went for it. And that's my daughter talking in the background. And at the end of 12 days, with a $700 investment into Facebook ads, I made $23,500 with my first group. And now I have students who have paid me to create the program that I have been wanting to build for so long. And because I didn't even go through all of Caleb's training by the time I launched my mini group, I made a ton of mistakes. In fact, I think I made a mistake at every single stage of the process. But really, those mistakes at the end of the day didn't matter, because in the mini group, I built up so much KLT, what Caleb calls know, like, and trust with my students, that I actually received a few emails from people midway through the mini group telling me that whatever it was that I was going to pitch them at the end, they were ready to sign up. So now I'm hard at work going through every single piece of Caleb's program and optimizing my mini group for future launches. In fact, I'm going all in on this concept, and I have no less than 11 or 12 mini groups scheduled to run this year. So thank you so much, Caleb. I'm so glad that you stumbled upon this business model and that you're willing to share it with all of us. Mahalo. Yay! Yay!
So guys, I will give you the same simple scripts, emails, and group posts Cindy is now using to trigger an all-out sales frenzy inside her mini groups. This method is easy to use. It is so easy that even complete beginners are now succeeding with this, okay? No other business model online is generating these kinds of profits, okay? For beginners and experts alike. There's nothing out there that even comes close. There's nothing even in the vicinity of coming close to this. So those are the 5 steps to success with mini groups. Guys, quickly, just back to the chat box. Are you starting to see why I believe mini groups are now the hottest new way for authors to sell books online at this time, and why I believe mini groups are the hottest new lifestyle business online right now? You don't have to do any of the usual stuff. You don't have to do any of the usual, hassles, or go through any of the usual, pains associated with publishing your book, or, webinars or video sales letters or anything like that. Just give me a quick check in there, guys. What are you thinking? Joyce says this sounds amazing. Jeanette says this sounds amazing. Brenna is a yes. Jean-Pierre says I get it. Mike says, oh yeah. Mary is a yes. Rosalind is a yes. Mark says makes a lot of sense. Caleb, brilliant how you do it. Bob says absolutely. Tons and tons of yeses. Lee says, yes, I'm ready. This is ingenious, rather, says James. Very good, says Martin. Sure, says Jeff. My goodness, so many answers coming in here, guys. Thank you so much. So let's move on here. Next, let me show you how my clients and I are actually growing mini groups from 0 to high 5-figure and even 6-figure a month money earners in less than 6 months. So let's talk about how you scale your mini group. So the first thing that you must understand is this: profit solves all problems in business. Okay, it's the lack of profit that causes most authors and most business owners to fail. I say that because you can only grow your sales, your profits, and your personal income as big and as fast as your profits allow. So if you are using a sales strategy or a business model that has a small profit margin, i.e. Amazon, then your book sales, your business, and your income will grow very, very slowly. But if your profit margins are huge, then you're in for a hell of a ride. Now, every money-making strategy needs a little kickstart capital to get it going. This strategy is no different. However, you're going to be shocked to learn, and you've already seen it, just how cheap it is to launch and scale a mini group into a 5- and 6-figure a month moneymaker. So, for example, I actually launched a traditional book funnel, okay, several months ago on Facebook. It cost me $500 a day in traffic for 45 days to test and optimize before it started breaking even and making me a profit. This means it cost me $22,500 to launch that book funnel. But with mini groups, and because of how profitable they are, guess what? I've got clients launching with just a few $100s. You saw Cindy launched with $700, and they're making tens of thousands, back in profit. So here's another example. Let me tell you about Ali Thompson. Ali launched her very first mini group by investing just $912.54 in traffic. 12 days later, she earned $9,383 in sales. That's more than a 10x return on ad spend in 12 days. Try get that anywhere else. Anywhere else. Try get those kind of returns anywhere else from any other form of making money. It ain't happening. However, Ali had an extra $12,125 set to come in later on from recurring sales. This means that Ali earned over $21,508 in sales from $912.54 in ads. That's $20,595.46 in profit. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call a lot of profit to earn from such a small investment in traffic. And it's profit like this, guys. That's the secret to growing your author income fast online. So here's what I mean. What I teach my clients is this. Make a small initial investment to start your mini group. Then take 50% of the profit you earn and reinvest it back into traffic. So let's now look at a theoretical example for educational purposes only, okay? For ease of math's sake, let's say you invest $500 in traffic and you generate $6,000 in sales. That's a 12x return, which, as you have seen from what all of my clients, including myself, are doing, that's about the average we're seeing with mini groups. That means $5,500 of that is profit after you deduct your $500 kickstart investment. So take half of that money, which is $2,750, put it in your back pocket. That's your money. That's your personal income. Now, what about the other $2,750? I recommend that you invest that back into traffic. So now, instead of investing $500 and earning $6,000, you invest $2,750 and you make $33,000. Okay, again, this is a theoretical example here, guys, but this is how the math is working, okay? Next, deduct your $2,750 traffic cost, which leaves you with $30,250 profit. Next, put half of that, $15,125, into your bank account. That's your profit. That's your personal income. Then reinvest the other half back into traffic. So now this time around, you can generate, and again, theoretical example, but these are the math. This is the math. It's averaging 10 to 12 times return on ad spend. So if your ad spend is $15,125, well then 12 times that is $181,500 in sales. Not making claims here, not making promises. We're just looking at the math. You deduct your traffic cost, and it leaves you with $166,375 in profit. Guys, I'm not going to keep going here because I think you get the idea of this theoretical example. But do you see how quickly you can scale this mini group business model and your personal income, even with a small initial investment, because of how big the profit margins can be? By the way, guys, this is exactly how I turned a $2,000 investment into over $1.7 million in 5 months. Again, here's the proof from earlier on. This is 3 bank statements showing $1.7 million in total revenue for just 3 of those 5 months. And that's all based off of a $133,000 ad spend, which, if you do the math, is over 12x return on ad spend. I earned all of that money. You could say I turned a $2,000 investment into $1.7 million because I took half the profit that I earned and I rolled it back in. And this is how I got to $1.7 million. This is how my clients are scaling their business and are now generating cumulatively millions and millions of dollars with mini groups. Guys, what I just shared with you here is not only the hottest new way for authors to sell books online. It is, in fact, the most exciting new lifestyle business model for overwhelmed internet marketers in 2021. This strategy is fast to launch. It's easier to succeed with. It's very profitable. It's a dream lifestyle business. It's extremely scalable. It's perfect for beginners, and it's even more perfect for professionals. Plus, it requires no staff, no publishers, no Amazon, no webinars, no video sales letters, no product launches, no book funnels, no podcast or TV appearances, no working 24/7, no stress and overwhelm. What's more, it gives you more free time, more income, more financial security. It gives you much higher quality customers and clients. It gives you greater happiness because you're not glued to your computer 24/7, working your tail off and not making any money. Okay, and it also gives you a way more profitable email list. I've been looking at the chat box. People have been asking, hey, does this build an email list for you? Listen to me. Owning your own email list is one of the greatest assets that you can have because it gives you a massive fan base for your books, your products, and your services. This fan base allows you to sell more and more and more of your books on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. Now, the industry average earnings per email subscriber is $1 per month. This means if you have 1,000 subscribers on your email list, you should earn $1,000 a month in book sales. Recently, check this out, I did a calculation of earnings per subscriber on one of my email lists. Okay, I was shocked to discover that my email list earned $11.50 per subscriber per month. This means the value of my subscribers is 11.5 times higher than the industry average. Guys, the trusting relationship that you build with your prospects as a result of this mini group business model cannot be matched by any other business model online. The email list you will build via mini groups will be the most valuable email list you own. Essentially, guys, in all ways, a mini group is superior to every other business model or sales generation strategy being used right now online. So, guys, I'd like to get a virtual show of hands here. Back to the chat box. Would you agree that this training has been time well spent today? Just go ahead and type your comments into the questions box now. And by the way, I've got another, real juicy training to give you here, but just I would love to hear what you have to say. Daniel says, of course. James says, I love how you limit the supply. You know what, guys? God, I need to scroll down here. Actually, I'm not looking at the comments here. Ricardo says yes. Verena says yes.